Mabuhay ug madyaw. I am Ira Babe M. Gias, and for tonight, we were going to tackle about the chapter 9, Sustainable Tourism Development and Environmental Stewardship. So, for the introduction, definition by United Nations World Tourism Organization, it said that sustainable tourism is defined by the United Nations World Tourism Organization as tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, and environmental impacts, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, the environment, and host communities. Meaning to say, sustainable, it is a type of tourism that is responsible and sustainable. While atong gina-consider is ang pang-economic, ang social, and of course, our environmental impacts, dili lang for now or sa atong present, but also para sa atong future generation. So, next is sustainable tourism is tourism that meet the needs of present tourist and host regions while protecting and enhancing opportunities for the future. Meaning to say, sustainable tourism, kabalo naman dito, no? Ang rule dyan niya is sustainable tourism means a way of traveling and exploring places that benefits both the tourists and the local communities while protecting sa ato ang resources and para sa atong future generation. So, balik na dyan na, no, nga, ang role dyan sa sustainable tourism is to ensure or to protect our environment para sa atong future generation. So, first is like minimizing negative impacts. So, this means avoiding harm to the environment like pollution, deforestation, water pollution, and so on. And also, most especially is respect nato diha sa mga local people nga ginaadtuan nato nga lugar, no? Next is maximizing positive outcomes. So, instead na magkuanta sa mga negative impacts, dapat mas i-maximize nato ang positive outcomes, di ba? Like, include supporting local businesses and people, helping preserve culture and tradition, and caring for nature. So, through ana, mas naka-help ta sa itong environment, not just for our environment, also para sa mga local businesses, no? Through sa pagpalit sa ilahang mga baligya nga gikan sa ilaha jud, and also preserving sa tong culture, no, nga mas ma-preserve pa jud ang kultura nato diri sa Pilipinas or sa lugar nga ilahang ginapangalagaan nila. And also, not just that, dapat najud tayo ka ng care sa atong nature so that ma-experience pa na sa itong mga future generation pohon. Next is core principle of sustainable tourism. So, the core principle of sustainable tourism revolve around of the concept of responsibility, long-term thinking, and inclusivity. So, this principle guide tourism planners, developers, and operator toward making tourism a force for good. So, sustainable tourism means traveling in a way that makahelp ta to protect the environment. So, balik na po, no? To support local communities, and ginagol jud nato is mas mapalambo pa nato ang atong tourism that beneficial for long term, dili lang for short term lamang, di ba? So, it's about making sure tourism nga it does not harm the people or places being visited. So, mao na ang prinsipyo sa sustainable tourism. So, sa sustainable tourism, let's move forward for environmental integrity. So, first is environmental integrity. So, this principle focuses on protecting nature. So, first is preserve biodiversity, natural heritage and landscape. So in this part, make sure plants, animals, and ecosystem nato are not destroyed by tourism or by the guest or the tourist. And also, next is, second is reduce pollution and overconsumption of resources. So, kaning nga part is avoid damaging the air, water, and land. Reduce lang jud nato, no, nga dili ta makagrabig pollute sa ato ang environment. Next is, third is promote low impact tourism activities like ecotourism. So, in this part, kanang gina-encourage ta na maging eco-friendly tourism like hiking or bird watching that don't damage the nature. Hindi ta makadamage the nature. So, next is economic viability. So, kaning economic viability, tourism should bring real, lasting economic benefits to local people. So, it focuses no na dili lang jud pang short term lamang ang kanang when it comes sa economic na nadira sa tourism, no? But it focuses for long term na maglast jud siya. Kanang effective jud siya. So, economic viability na siya, no? Is stable, long-term jobs for local people. So, kabalo naman jud ta ana, no, nga create stable jobs. So, it can offer long-term employment to locals, dili lang temporary, but especially for seasonal mga ana. So, naka-help jud na sa mga people there sa ilang lugar nga maka-create og jobs. Next is like for example for fair income distribution, second is kanang ensure fair income distribution across the tourism value chain. So in this part dapat fair when it comes sa kwarta, fair jud. Next is stimulate local economies by supporting small and medium enterprises. So in this part, we should help small shops, restaurants, and local guides thrive through tourism. Next is social equity. So, kayong social equity, kabalo naman ta, first is respect and preserve local cultures and traditions. So, as we guess, if ever mag-guest ta sa laing lugar, dapat we remain humble and have respect to the local people there. And also, dapat mas encourage yun nato sila nga mas ma-preserve nila ang ilahang mga culture and tradition. And second is ensure community participation in tourism planning. So, diri gina-ensure po nato nga maga-participate ta when it comes sa mga bulahoton, no, sa kanang ato ang environment to help na mas maka-gain pa ta og positive impact sa to ang palibot. So third is promote inclusiveness and avoid exploitation of labor and resources. So kaning part sa promote inclusiveness and avoid exploitation of labor and resources kay this part is ga-focus jud sila nga gina-ensure nila nga kanang naadyoy maka-benefit ang mga local people or community dira nga lugara, and also na ay mga fair employment opportunities, gina-ensure po nila ang kanang fair wages or sweldo, and also promoting sustainable practices nga mag-protect sa atong environment and local resources for future generations. So that's for social equity, for promote inclusiveness and avoid exploitation of labor and resources.
Good evening everyone, I am Eduardo Bailon Jr. and I'm the next reporter who will tackle about visitor satisfaction and awareness and also integrated planning. Visitor satisfaction and awareness. provide meaningful educational experience for tourists. So, pasabot no, insert na to na while nag-tour ang isa ka mga tourist is naa sila'y mag-gain na knowledge and also they know unsay do's and don't. Then sa raise awareness about local cultures, environments, and sustainability practices. So, i-inform din nato sab sila no na sa atong mga tourist kung unsay bawal or ensure nato na ang respect sa mga tourist so that dili makahatag og negative impact sa isa ka tourist spot. Then sa integrated planning, tourism should be part of a larger sustainable development strategy. So, diri sab na part is dapat part jud ang tourism sustainable development strategy no so that ma-maintain jud ang kanindot sa isa ka lugar. Then sa collaborate across sector and stakeholders for unified planning. So, collaborate sa mga stakeholders like NGOs or local government para mas mapalambo pa ang isa ka lugar.
I'm Philip Isamiliano and this is my reporting about what is environmental stewardship. Environmental stewardship means taking care of nature in a responsible. Why in tourism? It means that everyone, governments, business, and travels should help protect the environment. This includes using natural with activities like planting trees or cleaning beaches. That is the important of environmental stewardship. And the stewardship is have key elements of environmental stewardship in tourism. The first is conservation. Example of conservation is protect nature and wildlife. And second is responsible tourism behaviors. It means travel away to doesn't harm that environment. And third, active involvement. Example is help in cleanups or conservation activities. And fourth, sustainable resources. Use water, energy, and land wisely. And my second topic is monitoring and evolution in sustainable tourism. The monitoring and evaluation in sustainable tourism, it's monitoring and evaluation, it means checking if tourism's activities are truly sustainable. It helps make sure plans are working, problems are found early, and improvements can be made. And that's all.
Good day, everyone. My topic for this report is role of tourism stakeholders in protecting natural and cultural resources. Governments and policymakers. Number 1. Establish and enforce environmental laws and zoning regulations. They are the ones who establish and enforce environmental laws and zoning regulations in designated protected areas. For example, marine sanctuaries or national parks. They also provide funding and incentives for sustainable tourism initiatives. And also they are the ones who monitor and regulate environmental impacts through assessments and audits. Number 2, tourism businesses like hotels, resorts or tour operators. They implement green practices. For example, energy saving systems such as plastic reductions and etc. They also educate guests about environmental awareness and responsible behavior. They also source supplies locally and sustainably, and also conduct environmental audits and adopt eco certifications. Number 3, local communities. They serve as custodians of both natural areas and cultural traditions. They also advocate for responsible tourism development that aligns with community values, and they also participate in ecotourism initiatives and resource management. This is a very important aspect because we need ecotourism initiatives and resource management to sustain the area or the tourism. And they also act as an environmental educators and cultural interpreters for tourists. Number 4, tourists choose eco-friendly accommodations and tour operators. They respect nature, wildlife, and local customs. They also minimize waste, conserve water, and avoid damaging activities. For example, touching coral reefs. That is not allowed. And they also support local conservation projects and buy sustainable souvenirs. That's all for number 4. And number 5, the non-governmental organizations or NGOs and environmental groups. They strongly advocate for strong environmental policies. They provide education, training, and community support. They also monitor the ecological effects of tourism. And they partner with governments and businesses to implement sustainability programs. And that's all for my topic.
Good evening, everyone. We are reporter of chapter 8. And my topic is integration of environmental ethics into tourism operations. So, kinsa nakasuway og laag sa nature park or beach or bisan asa nga na mga tourist spot ang daghan na og basura, unsa yung gibati pati ana. Then mao ni ang isa sa mga rason nganong kinahanglan nato integrate ang environmental ethics sa tourism operations. Integration of environmental ethics into tourism operations. Ang turismo dako kayo og epekto sa atong kalibutan, o di lang sa ekonomiya kundi apil ang kalikupan. Kung walay proper nga ethics, mahimo kini nga makaguba sa mga natural nga lugar nga supposed to be atong gina-enjoy busa ang goal nato karon mao ang pag-promote og tourism nga responsible og naay respeto sa kinaiyahan. How to apply environmental ethics in tourism? Number 1, adapt a leave no trace philosophy. Kung mugikan ka sa usa ka lugar, dapat walay basura o kadaot nga mabilin. Pananglitan sa hiking, dili magpabilin og hugaw o baon ang tanom. Number 2, implement sustainable operating practice. So mga negosyo sa turismo or example or kini mga negosyante nga dapat mogamit og mga pamaagi nga makasustento sa nature gamit ang solar panels, bawal ang single-use plastic o gamayng tubig.
Sustainable destination planning is the process of designing and managing tourism development in a way that ensures long-term environmental health, social equity, cultural integrity, and economic viability. It It is the foundation for responsible tourism development that benefits communities and safeguards resources for future generations. Planning that ignores sustainability often leads to overcrowding, degradation of ecosystem, loss of local culture, and community displacement, all of which can threaten a destination appeal and viability. So, pasabot, ang positive impact niya is that gina-maintain niya ang long-term environmental health, social equity kay kanang mga the way na ma-manage nato ang mga tao na maabot sa isa ka lugar is cultural integrity na mas napaboost pa nato ang isa ka culture sa isa ka lugar, and also economic viability is daghan og job opportunities ang nahatag sa mga tao, especially sa lugar na nagpuyuan na nga tourist spot.
Now, let's proceed to Environmental Impact Assessment, also known as EIAS. So, an Environmental Impact Assessment is a planning tool used to evaluate potential environmental consequences of a proposed tourism project before it begins. So, in this part is that it is a process nga ginagamit para ma-identify or ma-predict or ma-evaluate kung kana nga proposed project ninyo ana nga lugar, like for example sa resort is tarong ba ang iyahang lugar, just like that, kanang gina-evaluate nila ba kung naba ni siya potential. Then so there are key components of AIAs. First is baseline environmental studies. So in this part is kanang na-involve na dira ang pag-analysis sa isa ka lugar or ang condition sa isa ka lugar na before sugdan ang project. So this forms the basis for comparing changes after the project is implemented. So example ana is ang new resort, diba, in a coastal area, like magkuan pa kag surveys, tanawon pa nimong ang quality sa tubig, ang biodiversity, kung inig magtukod ba ka na nga project is makaapekto ba na siya sa mga plant or animal nga naadiraa. How about sa noise levels, no? And also an existing land use pattern. So mo po na isa sa mga kuwala na example. Next is predicted impacts. So kanina part is ginatanaw jud nila, kanang ginatanaw jud nila sa layo pa jud bang kung naba ni potential ni nga lugara if ever mag-build kog project diraa, what would be the consequence of the project if ever mag-fail. Nga na jud siya, more on analyzing jud siya, evaluation jud siya. Like for example ana nga part, if ever air pollution, maga-increase ang air pollution from vehicle transporting tourists to a remote location. Kung the more nga sikat ang lugar, the more po nga expected nato nga daghan jud og tourists ang mag-ana. So ang more on sakyanan jud ang makaapekto ana. So mo po na ang studyhan pod or gina-evaluate jud siya kung naba jud siya potential or makauguba ba siya sa biodiversity. Tools for measuring sustainability. So to manage sustainability effectively, ang tourism stakeholder, they need measurable data and performance metrics. So in this part, ang tools nga ilang ginakuan is gina-identify nila ang challenges sa isa ka project or like for example sa isa ka resort. Gina-assess nila kung unsa ang mga strategies nga effective para mas ensure na to ang environment nga protected siya, and also improve kung unsa pa yung mga improvement para sa ato ang palibot. So next is So next is first is sustainability indicator. So indicator are quantifiable measurement that assess various aspects of sustainability. So kaning part, these are measurable data points gina-point out nila to help evaluate how sustainable a tourism business or destination is. Like for example, at a beach resort, manager might i-track kung pila na kaya ang water nga ma-consume sa per guest. Ginatan-aw pod nila kung ang amount sa basura kada adlaw, kung daghan ba kaayo na or dili, o kung maka-apekto na budget kaayo na sa isa ka resort. Then percentage of staff who are locals. So ginakuan po nila dapat common kaayo na mga staff is dira adyo sa mga local nila, no? So if water use is high or too much na siya, too much waste is produced, so of course, no, ang ginabuhat jud nila is mangita jud sila paagi nga ma-improve na to maintain the sustainability. So next is environmental and sustainability audits. So these are formal reviews of tourism businesses or destination assessing like resource consumption such as water or energy, waste generation and management, biodiversity impact, compliance with regulations, and also audits. Ang audits often involve checklist, scoring system, and performance benchmark, helping businesses adjust their practices and reduce their footprint. So in this part, these are like formal inspection good or gina-check up for tourism businesses. Like gina-assess nila ang katugan ng giingon nako na what ang kanang use of resources like energy and water, waste management. So isa ka example ana is presa na ang hotel mag-undergo sila og audit, then ginatan-on nila if for example they leave the air conditioning on empty rooms, like naga-waste og energy, di ba? Imbis nga walay gas, or kwan ba they don't have a recycling program. So of course, like for example kanang walay mga program nga lahi ang malata, lahi ang dili malata, just like that. Or their outdoor lights disturb nocturnal animals like bats. Basin wa sila kabalo nga ang kana ding ilahang businesses dira ang kuan kay wa sila kabalo ba nga nadi mga animals dira nga sensitive sa suga, then sila nagapataka og kanang pasiga dira og suga. So as a result mangita sila paagi unsaon nila na ma-reduce ang negative impacts, no? So they are advised to install motion sensors. So like for example kanang motion sensors kabalo naman ang one of an example of that is kanang mga suga, diba? Mabantayan niyo kung namay moagi na tao musiga ang suga, pero kung walay tao nga murag moagi palong ang suga. So mo pud nang isa ka advisable, install motion sensor, then start composting system. Like for example kuan jud tag di jud nato mawala nga na jud ang program nga when it comes sa composting system or waste management, lahi ang malata, lahi ang dili malata, and so on. And switch to wildlife friendly lighting. So para iwas ta makasagabal sa mga hayop, especially no sa mga bats, especially sa mga bats nga kanang mga kuan na kaayo, ato jud ang iwasan. So kitay mo adjust ana. So mo na siya ang sa environmental and sustainability audit. So so next is ang visitor feedback system. So tourist surveys, online reviews, and complaints log provide qualitative insight into visitor satisfaction, environmental awareness, perceived sustainability of the destination. So example ana is kanang na mag-comment so for example na mag-comment nga the view is beautiful Pero daghan lang kayo ang plastic sa dagat. So, of course, no, kasagaran mo ka na if ever maka abot na sa to nga feedback. So, unsa man itong kailangan buhaton? Dapat mas i-improve pa nato kung unsa ato ang mga lackings. So, ang tourism manager use this feedback to fix issues like waste or improve good practices like eco education tours. So, mo na siya ang ginabuhat nila. Ang kaning visitor feedback system mo ni ang ilahang pod isa pod ni sa susi nila para mas makabalo sila kung unsa ang mga butang kailangan pa nila i-improve. So, in summary about these tools for measuring sustainability, by using indicators, audits, and visitor feedback, tourism stakeholder can measure, monitor, and improve their sustainability efforts. So, mao na siya ang iyahang tabang. Proceed to the case study, which is some of the places are successful for their sustainability. So, case study 1 is from Costa Rica. So, one of the reason why they are successful because they has ecological certification, protected areas, forest and energy initiative, community tourism, and lasting global recognition and best practices. So, why is it successful sa Costa Rica? So, isa sa successful ang Costa Rica because ang Costa Rica is known as a global leader when it comes to ecotourism because of Katoganis certification for sustainable tourism or CST. So, ang kaning part is nagakuan sila o kaning every hotel is na ga-check jud na sila if ang kanang ilahang kan is eco-friendly ba na sila. Perminti po nila gina-monitor ang wildlife and also gina-focus jud nila or main goal jud nila or gina-invest jud nila is ang clean energy. So, limpyo kayo dito then more on eco-friendly jud kayo. So, example in Costa Rica is katong Costa Rica kay nakakuha sila og CST 5-leaf rating, the highest score because ang ginagamit nila dito is solar panels, then grabe jud sila maka-compost og kanang food waste, then protect nearby forest, and also most of their staff are local guides. Then and also ginatudloan jud nila ang mga tourists nga moabot dito about sa wildlife. So, mo nang reason nga nang isa pod ang Costa Rica known as global leader in ecotourism. The next is sa case study 2 which is ang Slovenia. So, Slovenia is nganong successful po ang Slovenia. Actually, ang Slovenia known po siya as Slovenia Green, label to reward towns and tourism businesses that are sustainable in areas like when it comes to transport, culture, and the environment. So, example is the town of Ljubljana, Slovenia's capital, was named a green capital of Europe nga naman because it has car-free zone, eco-friendly buses, limpyo kay lahang mga sapa dito and also permitted sila ga-celebrate dito og local culture and also food. So, mo na siya ang Slovenia. So, Slovenia is ginakuan jud nila ang kanang environmental quality, preservation of culture or culture transport economy, sustainable transport options, positive local economic impact. So, one of their main idea is there's a clear standard for sustainability and destination must meet it to be certified. So, kada lugar jud is nadyo'y mga kanang standard jud nga ginamit. So, isa ang Slovenia sa namit nila ang sustainability. Kung ang Costa Rica known for is global leader for ecotourism, ang Slovenia is known for Slovenia Green. So next is case study 3, which is ang Palau. So why is it successful? Because every tourist who visits in Palau must sign a pledge promising to protect the environment. So once nga mo visit ka sa Palau is nadjud kay kanang agreement, no, naga-promise jud ka nga mo imuha jud ng protektahan ng ilahang lugara. So the country also set limits on how many tourists can visit sensitive areas like coral reefs. So ang Palau is ginalimitahan na po nila kung pila ra ka tao ang makavisit ang lugara, most especially sa mga sensitive areas like coral reefs, no? Like if you go scuba diving in Palau, you may be limited to just 1 or 2 dives per day lamang. And kuan lang jud, nalang jud siya certain areas para to avoid damaging the reef. So the green fee you pay at the airport goes toward funding marine patrols and reef protection. So once ka mo adto kag Palau, nadyo kay bayaran kung kuan pa ba more siya environmental fee, pero ang ginatawag nila dito is the green fee. So ang kanang the green fee asa paadto nga kwarta is padulong na sa marine patrols and reef protection. So mao na siya ang sa Palau. So, when it comes to summary, why monitoring and evaluation matters? Because MME is like having a health check-up for tourism. It helps countries see if their strategies are working, make changes if needed, keep tourism profitable, ethical, and eco-friendly. So, example, if a national park sees that the number of visitors is hurting wildlife, they can use data to reduce the number of tourists or create better rules. So, as you can see, or based sa tanan namong topic, is more on sustainability dyan siya, no? More on protecting our environment, more on ensuring that wala tayo na apakan na mga butang, like for example sa mga hayop, wala na to na damage ang ilang panimalay, ang mga coral reefs, ang mga local tradition. So mauna siya ang sustainability. So based po sa tumakita, isa sa pinaka ning pasardo sa standard, no, kay ang Palau, Slovenia, and Costa Rica. So unsa man ato ang ma-learn ana or our reflection. So one of our reflection ana is dapat mo press pud ta sa ilaha, dapat kabalo pud ta kung unsa asa nato ibutang ang tama o mali. Sustainability dili lang magud ni para sa tua, para lang pud ni sa mga future generation nato pohon. That is why gina-encourage jud ta na maging responsible sa to ang environment, maging responsible sa to ang mga binuhatan, and also responsible tourism. So mao lang to. Thank you and God bless you.